Morning, Steve here in Chicago with the morning grain comments. Well, happy Friday to everyone. I think the three factors that the market will be looking for is number one, we've got the USDA report on Monday, and some of the traders might even up some of their positions going into that report. We could have a little fireworks from the USDA if they lower the corn yield and if they lower soybean demand, and we could see a little buying coming in after the report. Second thing is weather. By now, we should have been in La Nina, and it should be warmer and drier, but instead we've got rain moving across the Midwest yesterday and rain today, and another rain event late next week that could, number one, slow some of the harvest activity, but number two, increase the chances of disease for the corn and bean crop. And then finally, we'll be watching to see what the outside markets do, what the funds do, and we'll see what the export sales says today, because should be some good numbers today for export sales, but we hear that some of the demand might be slowing a little bit until maybe after this report, or until people know more about the weather. Domestic cash basis levels for both corn and beans are firming up a little bit. September, we're supposed to have record demand for both crush and exports, and the farmers just aren't in the fields as much as we had anticipated by now, and especially for beans, we don't have a lot of last year's supply available. So export sales in wheat supposed to be 300,000 to 500,000 tons. Last week was 279. Corn 800,000 to 1 million tons. Last week was 647. And somewhere between 1 and 1.5 million tons of beans. Last week was almost 1.5. We have one analyst who said he thinks the corn yield is going to be 172 because the USDA is too high in their ear weight and size. So the average guess, around 15 billion bushels of corn on Monday, and a little over 4 billion bushels of beans. New crop soybean carryout should be unchanged. The old crop could come down due to higher demand, and the new crop corn carryout could come down a little bit if they lower the yield. As I mentioned, we had rains in Kansas, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio yesterday. Today, rains are in Minnesota, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio. The 6 to 10 day calls for normal rains. Funds yesterday sold beans, but they bought meal, corn, and wheat. And going into this weekend, going into the report, they continue to be long beans, meal, and oil, and short corn and wheat. So we ran up against some pretty important resistance yesterday in the market. We've backed off overnight, and now we're just waiting for the sales, the report, and the weather. As always, these are my thoughts and not those of ADM or ADM Investor Services, and have a safe and profitable trading day.